Hello there, friend. Welcome to Motivation Monday. Today I want to bring you some encouragement to help set you up to have a really good week. And I want to encourage you that even if everything looks dark around you, God has a plan for your life. He sees you, He hears you, and He knows exactly what you're going through. And today I want to encourage you that your struggle is not without a reason. You see, God has a plan. And I want you to take confidence in the Lord and to see Him as your place of refuge. Proverbs 14:26 says, "In the fear of the Lord there is strong confidence, and His children will have a place of refuge." That word confidence in Strong's Concordance means sure and firm hope, trust, and security. Doesn't that sound like a great place to be? When we live like we believe that, it gives others around us hope as well. And if you're wondering what your purpose is, know that God wants all of His followers to be a blessing to someone else. But sometimes, just sometimes, we have to come to a place of allowing God to work in us before He can work through us. Joseph is a great example of this in real life. He went through 17 years of hell before he could be used by God. See, Joseph didn't receive his promise until 17 years after it was given to him as a teenager. We see that in the book of Genesis. And what was his promise? As a teenager, Joseph dreamed that all of his family would bow down and worship him, honor him. But at the same time, he didn't have the emotional or the spiritual maturity to deal with that knowledge. He shared it with his family in such a way that they scoffed at him. My paraphrase of their reaction is, "Who do you think you are? You think we're going to bow down to you, you snotty-nosed brat? Not us, no way." The immature way in which Joseph handled the promise when it was given to him set him up for some really tough years ahead, didn't it? Joseph ended up being betrayed by his brothers. They threw him into a pit and then sold him into slavery. He was taken to Egypt, and there he was sold to Potiphar. He did a really good job managing Potiphar's household, that is, until Potiphar's wife took a fancy to Joseph, and when Joseph refused to sleep with her, she accused him of trying to take advantage of her. Well, that accusation sent Joseph to prison for several years until Pharaoh found out that Joseph could interpret dreams. And so Pharaoh sent for Joseph, who gave Pharaoh the interpretations of his very troubling dreams. Joseph predicted 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine. And as a result of that interpretation, Pharaoh made Joseph second in the land and put him in charge of making sure that they wouldn't starve to death. Speaking of Joseph, Psalm 105:19 says, "Until the time his prediction came true, the word of the Lord tested him." That was 17 years of intense testing. Joseph had to journey through these dark places because God was molding his character into something that God could use to save the people. The Lord refined Joseph's character until he became the man that God needed him to be. God saw Joseph's future. He saw how amazing Joseph could be. He saw Joseph's potential even when he was still an arrogant teenager. God also saw Joseph's heart and how he would always lean toward honoring God no matter what happened to him. And God worked with that until Joseph reached emotional and spiritual maturity 17 years after the promise was given. That's a long time. Has God given you a promise years ago and now you feel abandoned? Does it feel like you're in the pit? Does it feel like you're in prison? Sometimes we have to go through the pit and the prison to reach the palace. And today, I want to encourage you to be patient. God isn't finished with you yet. Yield to Him, honor Him above all else, and let Him do His work in you. The promise is coming as sure as the rain. It might feel like you're in the desert, but blooms always come after the rain, even in the desert. Let's circle back to Proverbs 14, verses 26 and 27. In the Passion Translation, this reads, "Confidence and strength flood the hearts of the lovers of God who live in awe of Him, and their devotion provides their children with a place of shelter and security. To worship God in honor and awe opens a fountain of life within you, empowering you to escape death's domain." Wow, isn't that good? When we love God and we live in awe of Him, confidence and strength will flood our hearts, giving us a sense of security and shelter. That's what this says. It also says that worshiping God with a sense of wonder and awe brings life to us. That's so good. And it's also the secret. This principle is the secret behind the words of Jesus that we find in Matthew 7:7-12. Jesus said, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks the door will be opened. Who among you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask Him? Therefore, whatever you want others to do for you, do always the same for them. This is the law and the prophets." You see, when we show God our love, He in turn wants to show His love for us. He wants to show that to us. And I want to encourage you today to stand firm in the difficulty that you're in. Be patient. Don't give up. Never give up. And share with God exactly whatever it is that you need. After that, believe that He has heard you and that He will provide. Psalm 103:11-13 reads, "For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is His faithful love toward those who fear Him. As far as the east is from the west, so far has He removed our transgressions from us. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear Him." Yes, my friend, the Lord's compassion for you is great. It might seem tough now, but He has a plan. And that plan is to mold you into who He needs you to be. Today is Monday. It's a new opportunity to take the next right step. It's an opportunity to worship God with a fresh sense of surrender and awe. It's an opportunity to be a blessing to somebody else, to treat them the way you would want to be treated. What will you do with your week? I love you. Until next time, take care.